Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson, two former college football players from the University of Rhode Island, here to recap everything that happened in FCS Week 11. Today's episode is presented to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. If you're going to be betting on college football, the NFL, whatever it is, the rest of this fall going into the winter, make sure you go and do it over at FanDuel. Sean, you got a bet that you're liking tonight?
I'm liking a little slap tonight in Sunday Night Football. Over under set at 44.5. I like the under. Steelers and Chargers. I think it's not going to be the offensive powerhouse that we saw in Berlin this morning, but it'll be a fine game. But I like the under.
So of note, take the over in that game. It is going to be one of the highest scoring games of the season.
40-40. Herbert throws for 500. It's going to be Mercer, Western Carolina tonight, actually, just because I said that.
Basically, we got to start off talking about the Bison 15-10 against North Dakota. Look, I still stand by the fact that this North Dakota team has shown that they're incredibly stellar, that they can put up a legit fight. North Dakota State gets challenged, one of the few challenges that they've had this year, finds a way to gut out a really gritty win on the road. Quick, very side ADHD note, the helmets for North Dakota, absolutely sick. I absolutely love those. Back to talking about the game. This game was closed out by what was numerous key defensive plays by the Bison. They had a lot of key turnovers in the second half, a lot of big stops on third down situations, and it all came from the interception that was pulled off by the Bison secondary. I don't want to do wrong by the defensive back who...
You want me to give it a rip here?
Go ahead.
Anthony Chidim Alfaro.
All right, I hope that we got that right. Apologies if we got it wrong. He had one of the craziest, most clutch interceptions that you could have possibly have seen. It's one of those plays where you just kept replaying. You're like, he looked like he was the intended receiver, the way that he was able to pluck that ball out of the air. Kaminsky has 3 interceptions. Cole Payton was not his usual level of dominant, but his stat line doesn't reflect a number of the key clutch plays that he pulled off when his team needed it the most. The Bison continue to win. They continue to remain as the best team in FCS football, despite a little bit of a shaky performance.
Yeah, they went into the default Bison mode, which is we're just going to run it and play our defense, and we're going to win this game. It's not going to be the pretty NDSU win that everyone likes, where we're throwing it all over the place and we're running off huge chunk yards. We're just going to beat you in football, and that's what that team does when they need to do it. It's so frustrating. That's just got to kill anybody that they're playing, knowing that in their back pocket they can just go back to traditional, slow-paced, grind you down football, and you have nothing that you can do about it. You don't have the bodies, you don't have the strength. It's really tough. And North Dakota put up a hell of a fight in this one, but Kaminsky's had a rough tear. The last couple games for him have been not great. They need him to get right because North Dakota's a real threat. Like, this is a team that's pushed. We've seen North Dakota State get pushed in their last 2 weeks in really competitive games. North Dakota needs to be one of these teams that can actually, put up real points, really push other teams when they get to the playoffs, because they can do it, but they can't have their quarterback hurting them in this one.
Yeah, and again, just really effective way to finish out this game.
Was that too harsh by me, by the way? I know Ryan Roberts thinks that sometimes I'm a little too harsh.
What does he?
You didn't see that text yesterday?
We were getting a lot of texts from people yesterday. What did he say?
He was like, Sean during Fat Stats tomorrow, Dickens 1 interception. I didn't like that. You can't have that. Like, he was calling his shot on what I was going to say about it.
Kaminsky's been great this season. The 3 interceptions are less than stellar. It's not his blame for the performance and the loss. I think it just has everything to do with North Dakota State finding ways to make plays when they need it the most and finishing out the game. And that's exactly what the case was. Youngstown State had a fantastic win against SIU, 48-38. The record does not really truly reflect how consistent they have been. Them boys at SIU got brunged all over. 449 total yards, 345 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Absolutely insane. He threw a touchdown pass on each of the Penguins' first 2 drives in the third quarter, and that kind of gave them the necessary momentum to win the game. This was just a bonkers game as Brungard brunged out on SIU in every which way.
He dropped brung on them boys.
Yeah.
449 total yards, 345 of that being passing, 4 pass touchdowns, 2 rush touchdowns. That's my guy. All right. That's my Walter Payton guy right there. Absolutely dotting you up. SIU's not a slouch. DJ Williams had a really good game in this matchup also. 400 total yards, threw for 360 plus, 3 pass touchdowns, a rush touchdown. Like that is a game that SIU wins against like damn near every other FCS team. But unfortunately, they were facing the big bad brung and the Youngstown State Penguins. And that's what's going to happen to you this year. If your defense can't contain this quirked up quarterback in the middle of Ohio, then you're going to have a rough day. And SIU had a rough day. I mean, brung's just so inspirational.
Was that called OPI or DPI?
I don't know. They're targeting Mooney. They shouldn't be targeting Mooney. I'm trying my hardest to just focus on bringing the brung.
Sorry. Oh no, they called it on. I called DPI. Sorry, we're watching the Falcons Colts games happening. As everybody knows, Sean is a tortured Falcons fan. It's overtime right now. We're probably going to get an explosive reaction from Sean in the middle of this recap, either positive or negative. There was an explosive game that happened between Mercer and Western Carolina. SoCon game of the year. Mercer survives. They win. They move to 8-1. They're undefeated in the SoCon, and they clinched the auto bid for the SoCon to go to the playoffs. You can soak on these nuts. The way that they were able, the way that Mercer was able to finish out this game. This game ended up finishing off with Reese Griffith at a 37-yard field goal that gave them the 49-47 lead with 1:30 to go. And then Dickens drove down, and Marcus Trout missed a 33-yard field goal attempt on the final play. It's kind of funny how that always works when you got these 40-point games and then it comes down to 2 field goals of all things. But man, heck of a finish by Atkinson and Mercer.
Incredible game. I was asking for this game to be entertaining on the preview show. I wanted to see the fireworks. We saw the fireworks. This is the Fat Stats game of the year. I mean, between the 2 quarterbacks in this one. Do I save this for Fat Stats or do I let it rip right now talking about this one? I mean,
save it for Fat Stats.
All right. Well, look, Teron Dickens went off. Braden Atkinson went off. CJ Miller from Mercer, he's not in Fat Stats. He went off. He had 148 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Hell of a game. These are the 2 best teams in the SoCon. Western Carolina, 4 losses. Don't play like a 4-loss team. This is a team that could make noise in the playoffs. I'm actually starting to hope they get in so I could see what this offense does against other opponents outside of the SoCon. I think they give them fits. I think Western Carolina gives other teams fits this year. They ran for 48 yards and put up 47 points. That's not real. That shouldn't happen, and they do it. I love this offense. I love the way that Mercer's bounced back also. It's not just Zoc the World Mercer, where we're just having, suffocating defense and the offense is going to be blah. The offense is good. Atkinson's legit. This is a great game. Both these teams really legit out of the SoCon.
By the way, today's episode, a reminder, is sponsored by our good friends over at FanDuel. If you're going to be betting on college football the rest of the season, go on over to FanDuel. Montana and Montana State are very happy with their performances. Oh, look, we mentioned Montana State. Completely smoked Weber 66-14. Montana's game ended against EWU in the craziest way possible, 29-14. You had, was that the final score? Wait, I thought this game.
No. Did I put in the 24?
Yeah. I was going to say that game was 20. It was 29-24.
Yes.
I was going to say that wouldn't have made sense with what I was just about to bring up.
Yep.
If anyone missed the end of this game, it is the true epitome of how college football works. That the most unthinkable thing can always happen when you think that the game is going to be normal. Whenever you think that, this is football, it's 3rd and 1 and time is expiring. We just need a quick spike here and then we can take a shot at the end zone. Now our quarterback is going to somehow fumble a spike, which I've never seen that happen before. Montana recovers it. Game over. I was blown away. I'm sitting there watching the clip over and over again. I'm like, what in the world? How does that even possibly come together? No shaded EWU's quarterback, but my goodness, that is an awful way to finish.
Yeah, Jake Shackle threw for 450 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. And unfortunately, this feels like a situation where he's never really had to spike a ball before. And
yeah, I
you
guess.
get in there and you're like, oh, okay, this should be
Just
easy.
overthought it.
It's not that easy. You got to go under center. You got to take a couple steps back, throw it on the ground. The spike play, it's always a little nerve-wracking because sometimes you'll have a D lineman like submarine and try to catch it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll try to blow you up. It should be an easy procedure. Throw the ball on the ground. It's not always that easy, and they make it look hard sometimes. Good wins by both the Montana schools. EWU a little bit cursed this year, especially with that loss. It's hard to pick yourself up off the mat with that one. Montana, I guess, skated a little bit. If that's kind of what we're going to be looking at, EWU's not that much of a force.
Oh, now you're throwing shade at Montana.
Well, look, I guess I got to even it out a little bit. Oh, I mean, also, you know what?
Hater.
I looked back through the Montana State schedule, and I've looked through their games. I'm like, what are we going to talk about with them just blowing teams out?
They've just been. I guess we talked about Montana blowing out. Who they played Weber last week? They blew somebody out last week. I'm forgetting. All
right, Montana State, you got included because you blew out Weber too. All right. Sorry. Your conference isn't giving us a ton of like awesome bulletin board material to come back with Bobcat news. I love the Bobcats. How am I dueling with the Bobcat fans?
I don't know.
I don't need to be.
Good question. South Dakota beat up on the trending backward South Dakota State team 24-17. LJ Phillips had a nice long scamper to basically cap off the scoring in this game, and they were able to hold South Dakota State scoreless in the entire second half. South Dakota State feels like, since they lost Chase Mason, not trying to shade Jack Henry and saying that this is all his fault. It just more so has to do everything when you don't have Chase Mason in there, who's been a driving force for a lot of their potent offensive success. It just feels like South Dakota State, the boat is sinking a little bit, and they need to figure out how to plug the holes. I have no idea when Chase Mason's supposed to come back. Again, it's very hard when you're not embedded in the local media and you're not like there in the region and you're in South Dakota to like really grasp what is actually happening and find those updates. It is really hard to find news updates on these injuries. So I don't know what the deal is with Chase Mason, if he's ever even going to come back.
Yeah, it's really not been a good last 3 games for South Dakota State, for a team that's shown such dominance, that's shown such composure also. I guess with their ones, they've done that. It's a rough scene here. And they still have to play Illinois State and North Dakota.
Which they could still get in. Even if they lost those 2 games, I would argue their Montana State win, they would still get in. They'd have a pretty impressive resume.
They'd have to have their starting quarterback back. That's the only. I think that's how you get.
I don't know if we get the FSU treatment on this. I don't know if we get that.
You would have. I just
generally don't think that there's enough top 25 caliber. Like, I just don't see that there's going to be a team that will make a clear case to bounce out South Dakota State. We'll have to see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, what if they lose both? If they lose both, a 5-loss team.
It depends on how they lose. If they lose in close fashion in those last,
I guess they hung around South Dakota. South Dakota's not a bad program. They're a good team.
And South Dakota's probably going to get in to the playoff.
Yeah,
with this
is tricky. This is tricky as hell. South Dakota State evaluating what they are, because when they are really South Dakota State, they're really untouchable. But right now, bad slide.
Monmouth fell to UNH. UNH always does this. They always do this bit where, like, right when you think they're not relevant in the hunt, they just randomly will pull out an upset that shakes everything up. Monmouth was trending towards being the best team in the CAA. Not so fast. New Hampshire capitalized. They had 2 second-half turnovers that helped build up this nice lead after they had marched down at the beginning of the second half, 75 yards, with a Thomason 22-yard run. This was very troubling for Monmouth. And frankly, the CAA standings are really confusing right now. This is how it stands. This is good for our boys at Rhode Island. 8-2 right now. They're at the top. They're still undefeated in conference play because the Brown loss does not count towards conference play. They are in strong positioning. If they can finish out with Villanova trailing at 6-1, Monmouth at 5-1, and Maine, what? How am I just realizing this?
Maine's been stacking a little bit. They've been quietly stacking.
I hate Maine.
So
well, they
do
get to
I.
play Rhode Island at home this upcoming weekend. Why do I feel like weather in Bangor, Maine? We're going really sideways here. All right, it's supposed to be 40 degrees on Saturday.
Yeah.
We're not going to get any of that BS when we last went to Maine and it was below freezing in November. Those assholes. Fix the weather. Yeah, the CAA is a total crap. It's the ACC of FCS this year, where there's not really a clear best team, and it looks like Rhode Island and their defensive dominance is going to be enough for them to win the CAA again this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I. You know what? I hope so. I'll say that. I hope so.
I'll have a little bit more confidence.
That I'm just trying to sound not biased. I'm hoping they do.
All right, fair. Says the guy wearing a roadie football shirt.
I know.
Yeah, not going to be able to. Dumbass. I don't want to sound biased. Look at your shirt, idiot.
Monmouth. I had really high hopes for Monmouth. I thought they were so legit. I still think they're legit. They scare me on the run game and the pass game. They got so much talent. UNH just deciding to wake up and throw a wrench in it is just really the most UNH stuff ever. God, they are just a thorn every single year.
Is Gerald McCoy wearing a tuxedo?
It's a bad suit right now. Mooch rocks. Steve Mariucci freaking rocks.
All right, sorry. Continue what you're saying.
Yeah, UNH pulling this bit, these antics. I'm over it. They weren't in the hunt all year, and they've just been floating around 500, and now they want to start mucking up the works. CAA had two to three really good teams. Rhode Island, Villanova, Monmouth. Don't need Monmouth dropping one right now.
We might only get it'll probably be a 3-bid still league where Maine's not getting in unless they beat Rhode Island this week, but it's probably going to be Rhodey, Villanova, and Monmouth that get in. I don't think that it's going to be a year where we typically will get 4 or 5 teams in the conversation. We're probably only going to have 3 this year.
Yeah. And you know what? I guess I think Rhodey's the strongest, genuinely. I think they're the strongest. Farrell's been awesome this year. Buchanan's been awesome this year. AJ Pena's been great. Yeah. Like, they've got real deal talent, and they just got to put it together in the playoffs. Hopefully they get a little more experience.
Sela, after I had been very aggressively supporting them, decided to lay an egg against Lamar, ranked on ranked. Lamar heard our criticism, and they decided to prove us wrong that they don't need an abundance of Lamars to beat teams in the Southland. They now move into second place, a second-place tie in the Southland. This Lions team, they turned the ball over on their final drive. Lamar was able to cap it off in what was a just really low-scoring, just wrenching loss for Southeastern Louisiana.
I think I'm officially going on Team Lamar here. Huge FC Estimates victory for me there against Joe on that pick. We tied, by the way, 7-10 each.
Oh, I know. The one week you do well.
Couldn't even get right.
Oh,
well, you know what they say about that Chalky Joe. Lamar making things interesting. Sela's okay. Sela's actually been a good story this year. I was not expecting Sela to make much of any noise, but they've turned in some really good efforts this season. It's really hard saying that when your team puts up 12 points and you lost to Lamar. Like this pat on the back conversation, keep your chin up. It's tough. It's tough medicine to swallow, but it's good. It's good for the program health. I thought they were going to be like a flash in the pan. We started covering them. They had a couple good years, and then they fell into some obscurity. Why not? Why not bounce back a little bit, make it competitive, lose to Lamar by 2 points, only put up 12 points? Why not? You're doing good.
Last quick couple updates here. Lehigh has been like a kind of a funny team to talk about because sadly the Patriot League's not like a super challenging conference, but to their credit, they're just working everybody who they face off with. 38-3 against Holy Cross, who used to be the team that ran the Patriot League. Presbyterian lost again.
Oh, did they? Who'd they lose to? Like
Davidson. Shut up.
Davidson.
Shut up. Respect Presbyterian. Hey, respect them. But they're probably not going to the playoff. I don't even wait.
Say anything disrespectful here. I was just, just asking who they had lost to. I figured if it was Presbyterian, they must have lost to like a really good team, like a Tennessee Tech.
Shut up. They're not in the Pioneer League. They beat Mercer.
SFA.
What are we supposed to do? Oh, this is the problem. Hey, I'm talking over here.
I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Presbyterian's now 4-2, and they're in a tie with Dayton and San Diego.
San Diego's better than them. Dayton's better than them.
Shut up. Drake. He's now probably going to be the Patriot League representative. Can't believe you're trying to.
Hey, poop and farting. What do you got to say now, huh? Go ahead. Keep on trying to spread that propaganda. I'm not biting it. I took so much crap for believing in UTRGV, and guess what? They won big this week.
Who cares? They're not. They weren't in the playoff run.
Big loss. Takes Presbyterian. Falling apart. It's falling apart.
UTRGXYZ was not a legit playoff.
They're every
Presbyterian
bit.
was.
Do you think that? Who do you think wins the game right now?
Mercer,
UTRGV or Presbyterian?
Presbyterian.
You are lying.
Who has UTRGY?
You are crazy.
Who have they beaten? That is an accomplishable win.
They Presbyterian beat Mercer in week 1.
They're playing.
That's nothing to me.
They're playing the Houston Janitorial School.
Presbyterian would get blown out by Mercer 80-3 right now.
That is a ridiculous thing to say.
UTRGV.
It's okay. You got duped by the fun story.
Go screw. You got duped by the fun story. That's why you're screaming.
Win this weekend?
They did.
Mercyhurst.
They're 4-6.
They won this weekend.
Yes, they did. I think they beat Marist or something.
Wait, we're gonna want to check.
Yeah.
No, St. Francis. 16,
St.
15.
Francis.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, they won by another bad Joe team winning barely.
Hey.
And then Presbyterian lose. That's awful, dude.
Wait. What's the?
You have made me not like Presbyterian.
Look at this. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Look at this. So Central Connecticut State's probably going to win the NEC.
Yeah.
But Mercyhurst at 4-6, the greatest 4-6 football team of all time, is at 3-2, and they're in third, right behind Duquesne.
Duquesne lost a crazy one this week also. I think the Duquesne stinks. They need Darius back.
Mercyhurst football.
Wait,
I just really quickly. Okay, so they got Robert Morris this weekend, and then their final game of the season, we have a conference decider potentially between them and Central Connecticut State. Now they're going to need Central Connecticut State to drop a game in the next two. They're going to need to lose to Duquesne. So theoretically, if CCSU loses to Duquesne and then Mercyhurst beats CCSU, we could have the greatest 6-6. Yeah, wait, they'd be 6-6.
Yeah,
the greatest 6-6 football team of all time.
Shut the conference down. That's what I would say. Shut the conference down if you have a 6-6 winner.
Let's go.
I shouldn't be saying that.
All right, Grimace conference standings.
Yeah, let's check in on the Grimace here. 7-8 week, not good. We like to be above 500 here in the Grimace. Let's start with the shame, as we always do. Furman, shame. Holy Cross, shame. Stonehill, Albany, Northwestern State, shame. Western Carolina, shame. Central Arkansas, shame. North Alabama, shame. The winners, Tennessee Tech, keep it up. St. Thomas won. Western Illinois, UNI, ACU, SFA, and Alcorn all get wins. 71-67 in the FCS. Still above 500 there. We need to close strong, fellas. Top of the Grimace, Tennessee Tech 10-0, 1-0 in Grimace. Tarleton State follows. ACU 6-4, 3-0 in Grimace still. Western Carolina 6-4, 1-0 in Grimace. Northwestern State still near the top of the rankings, Joe. A 1-9 team. They are 1-0 in Grimace.
That's insane.
The bottom barrel here. Furman stinks. Western Carolina stinks. Alcorn State, North Alabama still at the bottom. They're 0-2 in Grimace. Worst Grimace record in the league. Everyone else 0-0 in the Grimace, and they are just purple teams middling about their seasons. Do you want me to get fat on them to close it out here?
Get fat on them.
Quarterbacks got real fat this week. Running backs got real fat this week. Wide receivers are getting some cardio in, I guess. They didn't want to get all fat going into Thanksgiving. Western Carolina quarterback Teron Dickens. You've been waiting for this stat line here. 551 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
God, that's obese.
I could do without the 1 interception. Eastern Washington quarterback Jake Shackle, 451 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mercer quarterback Braden Atkinson from Game of the Year, 443 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Prairie View A&M quarterback Cameron Peters, 394 yards, 5 tuds. Wofford quarterback JT Fayard, 365 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Let's get to the backs. Villanova running back Jabril Mace, 28 carries, 291 yards, 4 touchdowns. Lafayette running back Kente Edwards. Lafayette's having a really good season also. I think they're 7-3.
Yeah.
20 carries.
Matchup coming up later.
260 yards, 3 touchdowns. Southern Utah running back Joshua Dye, 31 carries, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sac State running back Rodney Hammond Jr., 17 carries, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. Let's close it out with our lone receiver of the day, Prairie View A&M wide receiver Jisaiah Rockwell. I can't believe I nailed it with the first try. Jyzaiah Rockwell, 8 catches, 183 yards, 3 touchdowns. What a professional.
Just know that I never doubted you.
I appreciate that.
I never doubted you. Give me Teron Dickham down Dickens with the game of the week.
Gotcha. Okay, Joe's taking Dickham down. I will go with Jabril Mace from Villanova. That is a ridiculous stat line on the ground.
At Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hack City Pod. Do the right thing.